A lot of babbling in the beginning of this. Get this set up. Here we go. Hey there, welcome to Art with Korb. I'm Frank Korb, your art teacher for the day. We're going to be working with watercolors today. We're also going to be working with our color wheel. So have your pencils and your paints and water and the rag ready to go. Here we go. Today what we're going to do is we're going to start by drawing out our color wheel. So I've got myself a good HB pencil, I mean, pretty old standard pencil, and I'm going to freehand myself a circle. Now I could, and if you had one, I could just trace my circle, but I'm not going to. I'm going to freehand it. So go ahead and... So I've kind of free-handed that. It's a lot of searching lines. I didn't think I could do one perfect one. And so that's my searching lines. I'm going to now put circles in 12 different spaces. I'm going to start at the 12 o'clock position. So I'm going to start with my 12 o'clock circle. Now I'm just using a small little jar of gouache. If you've got a spool of thread, or a teeny tiny cup, you could do that too. So my 1, my 3, my 6, and my 9 o'clock position. I'm also then going to be putting in some circles at my 1 o'clock, my 2 o'clock, my 4, and my 5, my 7, my 8, my 10, and my 11 o'clock position. So go ahead and do that. I have one more space in the middle that I'm going to put a circle, and that's going to be for my neutral color, my neutral gray. So I'm going to put a circle in the middle here. This is gel medium. Whatever circles you've got. If you don't have any objects, you can freehand it too. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with freehanding it. At the top, I'm going to put my colors in a specific order. I'm going to put yellow at my 12 o'clock position. I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4 squares over, 4 circles over is going to be red. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 more circles over is going to be blue. These are my primary colors. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to draw a line, a solid line, between my primary colors. And I'll label this primary. The next set of colors I'm going to work on are my secondary colors. So if I mix yellow and red, I'm going to get orange. If I mix red and blue, I'm going to get violet. And I call it violet. Some people call it purple, but to me, red purple just doesn't sound right. And then between blue and yellow, I'm going to get green. These are my secondary colors. And so I'm going to use a dotted line to connect my secondary colors. Between green and orange, between green and violet, and then between orange and violet. The last set of colors, oh, I gotta label this. These are my secondary colors. The last set of colors I'm going to work with are my tertiary colors, and I'm just going to put the word tertiary down here. And those are my colors like yellow and orange, make yellow orange. Red and orange, make red orange. Red violet, blue violet, blue green, and yellow green. Always list those primary colors first. Go ahead and label your color wheel. So those are my 12 colors in my color wheel. What goes in the middle is neutral gray. And what neutral gray is we get that by mixing equal parts of two complements. So violet and yellow yield one neutral gray, orange and blue get us another one, and red and green get us a third neutral gray. So in this case, I'm going to draw a pie shape. There's the layout of the color wheel. And now we erase. Okay, so I've got myself my paints, my brushes, and whenever I paint with watercolors, I've at least got two things of water. One is a dirty water, and one is, well, it's supposed to be clean. For argument's sake, we'll call that water clean. Not terribly clean, but it'll do its job. The other thing I've got is I'm going to use, with this pretty simple set of watercolors, I'm going to use the lid that came with it as my palette. So you can use a little glass plate maybe, or if you've got a tray like this, you can use that. The last thing I'm going to have handy is a rag, and I use this quite a bit. So here we go. Let's start. The first thing that we're going to do is I'm using a round brush. I also have a skinny round brush. I've also got a flat brush, and I love me a good filbert. So a filbert is kind of a combination between a round and a flat. It's a flat body with a round head. I'm going to use my round. To start with, I'm going to use yellow, and very seldom do I make colors straight from the tray, but because I'm dealing with my primary colors, I'm going to use my color straight from the tray on all three of my primaries. So go ahead and take your color and fill in your spaces. So I've got my three primary colors painted in yellow, red, and blue. And now we're going to mix colors. Yes, 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 I know. I have lots of other colors in my tray, but part of the skill of being a strong artist is knowing how to mix your colors. So rather than simply taking green or orange out of my tray, I'm going to mix my colors. I'm going to start with orange. And using a softer watercolor brush, something that holds a little bit more water in it, I'm going to, and if you don't have another brush like this, that's fine. You just use what you've got. I'm going to put a little bit of water in my paint tray lid, my palette. And then I'm going to take my lightest color, which is going to be yellow. I wonder what's going on in the world that my phone chimes like that. Hey, welcome to the world of live video. It's not really live. It's actually my third time doing this today. So I'm going to add yellow in here. Get a good amount of yellow. Now yellow is pretty transparent, pretty light color. So I want to really use a lot there. And red's a pretty strong color, so I'm probably not going to need a lot of it to mix into here to get myself a good orange. One of the tricks with paints is I always mix my dark color into my light color. So there's my orange. take my red and my blue and make violet. Again, same idea. I'm going to take my bigger, thicker, chubby brush, dump some water in there. I'm going to mix in my red first because red is lighter than blue. And I don't have to use a lot of blue. Blue is going to change that pretty dramatically, pretty fast. Paint in my violet. And then I'll do the same thing with my green. I'll start with my yellow, I'll add blue to it, and go from there. Now, while I've got my secondary colors mixed up, I can actually quickly go in and fill in my tertiary colors. To make myself some yellow-orange, I'm going to put a little bit of water in my palette. I'm going to put a little yellow in my palette. And because I'm not going to be painting an awful lot, I can mix up just a little bit at a time. Take some of my orange, mix it into the yellow. And the more pigment, the more of the color that you pull from your palette to your water, the darker it's going to be. So I can have a deeper orange or a deeper yellow orange if I wanted. But one of the things I'm trying to do is emphasize the fact that these colors are pretty transparent, and that's the joy of watercolors, is it is a pretty transparent color. So yellow, yellow, orange, orange, red, orange to red. Just going to take some of my orange over here in the palette. Mix a little bit of red into it. A little bit more orange. And I'm just going to continue this. So think about how you can mix these colors. I need a little bit more orange to it. So we're just going to go around the circle and mix up our colors. Now, I got a little bit outside of here, so I drained my brush. Kind of suck that extra up, just like that. There we go. So I'm going to go all the way around. You go ahead and remember, mix your light color first and then mix your dark color into the light color. So for red violet, I'll take red and mix my violet into it. Blue violet, I'll take my violet, my blue rather, and mix my violet into that and go ahead. So I'm going to do this quickly. You go ahead and take your time. So there you go. You've got your primaries, yellow, red, and blue. You've got your secondaries, green, orange, and violet. And you've got your tertiaries, blue, violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, violet. The last three colors we're going to talk about are our neutral grays. Neutral grays go in the middle. And one of the things with neutral grays is you're going to take 2 equal parts of your complements, and it's going to give you a different version of that middle neutral gray. So the red and the green mix up a different brown than do violet and yellow and blue and orange. So they mix up different colors. So we're going to take a look at that. Now I've saved a good portion of my color, so I don't have to remix everything. So there's my orange. I can mix my blue and my orange together. Remember, we're trying to mix our light color into our dark color. So a little bit more blue in there. And so blue and orange will give me a neutral gray. And sometimes it's more gray, depending on the pigments. This is actually a pretty gray looking color. But as we move forward, you're going to notice that they're very different. So I'm going to mix my red and my green. So I still have green available. So I'll mix my green together. I'll clean out a spot here to mix my red in. That's why I have a rag here. It's always handy. So there's my red, mix my green into my red. Yes, 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 I know. I've got green. I can use my green, but it's important for us as artists to be able to mix our own colors together. Actually, I think I like that one better. So red and green makes a different neutral gray. And then the last colors are going to be violet and yellow. Now I need a fresh colors. So now I've got my 3 neutral grays. So they're a little bit different. It's got a little bit more yellow feel to it, a little warmer. This one's got a little more reddish, a little warmer. This one's actually pretty gray. These colors are very thin. They're very watery. Again, watercolor. That's how we've got that. There's one last thing I want to do, and we're going to talk about this in another video, but we're going to divide this color wheel in half. Now, some people will argue with me about this, and I really respect those people, but for our argument's sake, I'm going to divide this color wheel between yellow and yellow, green, and red, violet, and violet. And on the side, whoa, that's a terrible line. On the side with yellow, yellow, orange, orange, red, and red, violet, these are my warm colors. And my side with my violet, blue, blue, green, green, and yellow, green, these are my cool colors. Thanks for following along. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment below. Keep it nice, keep it polite. Subscribe to my channel and keep making art. Stay tuned for color schemes. See ya. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe.